Humans are fallible, and mistakes are part of life. And unfortunately, that sometimes applies to huge construction projects. On this episode of Built a Billion, we'll look at how billion-dollar construction mistakes were made, including a skyscraper in New York that almost toppled over, causing immense tragedy. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Let us know in the comments what you think about these construction failures. Number 5. 20 Fenchurch Street. 20 Fenchurch Street is a commercial skyscraper in London. It was sold to a Hong Kong manufacturing company named Lee Kum Kee for $1.8 billion. After being completed in 2014, it was named the ugliest new building in Great Britain, and a mistake was made in the planning stages. The building has a large glass front. The sunshine on the south side of the building has a concave curvature, redirecting the sun's rays on the street and houses on the opposite street side. In the summer, the sun's rays were reflected 6 times stronger than normal, which melted parked cars and cracked the sidewalk. A reporter even fried an egg on the street using the reflected sunlight. The architect said that he didn't know it was gonna get that hot. A sunshade was installed which fixed the problem, but costed $14 million. Number 4. Stuttgart 21. Stuttgart 21 is a giant railway megaproject in Germany. The station was a terminus originally, meaning that the trains had to leave the station in reverse, costing time. So the government decided to turn it into a transit station. This way the station could be a part of a high-speed railway connecting Paris, Stuttgart, Munich, Vienna, and Bratislava. At the start of planning in 2010, it was thought that construction should only cost $5.4 billion and last until 2018. Well, let's just say it didn't end up like that. After delays, it said the station won't open until 2025. 67 kilometers, or around 30 miles of tunnels, have to be built in order to connect the station with the existing network. But there's a certain type of soil that expands once it comes in contact with water, which makes the work really difficult. In addition, in 2017, thousands of protected lizards on the route from Ulm to Stuttgart had to be relocated. This venture alone costs $18 million because the company that does this work charges $10,000 per lizard. Yikes. All this could make the cost for the project soar to $12 billion once everything is said and done. I hope it's worth it. Number 3. Citigroup Center. The Citigroup Center is a 280-meter high skyscraper in Manhattan, New York. Its unique feature is that it's supported by 4 34-meter-long pillars. Engineers estimated the stability of the building by calculating the winds that came perpendicular to the structure. But in 1978, 2 civil engineers discovered that the original engineers didn't account for the quarter winds that hit the corners. Diane Hartley, who was a civil engineering student at the time, claimed the building was unstable and could fall over at any given moment during strong winds. Engineers started carrying out tests and discovered Diane was right. William Lemaitre did more work and discovered that the wind that could cause the building to collapse occurred every 55 years. If that building fell, the consequences would be, of course, fatal, causing the building to topple over instead of falling in on itself. This could create a possible domino effect for more buildings in the area. But to make things more dramatic, Hurricane Ella was on its way and engineers had to act fast. No public statement was made, but they worked for 3 months at night to solve the problem. They welded 2-inch steel plates over the bolted joints on the building to fortify the stability of the skyscraper. Hurricane Ella never reached the area and the project was completed in October of 1978. 17 years later, the story was posted in an article after Lemaitre talked about it at a party. Go figure. Number 2. Jeddah Tower. Jeddah Tower is located in Saudi Arabia. With the height of 2 Empire State Buildings stacked on top of each other, it was supposed to be the first 1-kilometer tall building in the world. This is part of Saudi Arabia's vision to lean the economy more towards tourism, like Dubai, with the famous Burj Khalifa. Construction started in 2013 and was supposed to be completed by 2018. But the purge of 2017 in Saudi Arabia caused construction problems and work stopped with only a third of the structure complete. Major investors of the project were imprisoned by the Saudi Arabian government, including Prince Al Walid, and after their release, construction was still on hold with no official date for completion. COVID also delayed the scheduled continuation of 2020, and since then, there has been no progress made. If this tower is never completed, Saudi Arabia is looking at a construction mistake of $1 billion. Number 1. Berlin-Brandenburg Airport. Berlin-Brandenburg Airport is an international airport project in Germany. Construction began in 2006 and was supposed to cost $2 billion, slated to open in 2011. But what happened in reality was years of delays caused by corruption and incompetence. In 2010, the bankruptcy of one of the involved planning companies was announced. Also, there were delays due to non-compliant fire protection requirements, and the airport failed the acceptance test that would even allow them to be an airport in the first place. 37 miles of cooling pipes without thermal insulation were installed, forcing dozens of walls to be torn down and pipes to be replaced. The cost has tripled to $8.3 billion. 9 years after it was supposed to open, the airport went into operation. But after the pandemic, in order to prevent bankruptcy, the airport will need an additional $2 billion. Just throw the whole airport away at this point. What do you think about these expensive construction mistakes? Which one was the worst? Let me know in the comments below. I've also done a video on the most expensive successful construction projects in the world, and that should be on the screen now. So click a video on the screen to watch something you haven't seen. And thanks for visiting Built a Billion.